Rick Chow, the gas station owner who shot and killed 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack Belton back in May of 2023, has just been found not guilty in connection with Belton's death. And so, although Rick Chow has been incarcerated since his arrest back in 2023, so he's been locked up for just about 3 years exact, he has been found not guilty. So after they process him out, he'll be free to go. So that's the end of this case. A lot of people have been asking about the gas station. And so just for context, maybe I'll do a video later. But the family, the Belton family, has also placed a civil lawsuit. They are suing Rick Chow as well as the gas station. They're suing, there's a few defendants in that case. But there is a civil lawsuit that was put on hold for this criminal case. So I'm sure now that this is over, that civil case will continue at this point. But that is the update. This case, the criminal case, is now over. Rick Chow has been found not guilty by a jury of his peers.
Rick Chow has been found not guilty of murder in the shooting death of 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack Belton. The verdict came after jurors heard days of testimony about what happened outside Chow's Park Lane Road convenience store in 2023. Prosecutors argued Chow wrongly believed Cyrus had stolen 4 bottles of water, chased him more than 130 yards from the store, and shot him in the back. The defense argued this was not murder. They said Cyrus pointed a gun at Chow's son, Andy, and that Rick Chow fired one shot because he believed he had to protect his son. The jury had to decide whether the state proved murder beyond a reasonable doubt, or whether Chow's actions were legally justified as defense of another person. When the not guilty verdict was read,
we, the jury, unanimously find the defendant, Chi Rick Chow, as to the charge of murder, not guilty. Sign number 302, foreperson, June the 1st, 2026. Madam Forelady, was this your verdict and the verdict of the entire jury?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Thank you.
Cyrus's family broke down in tears. His mother cried in the courtroom as the decision was announced. After hearing all of the evidence and deliberating for over 8 hours, the jury found Rick Chow not guilty of murder.
His name was Cyrus Carmack Belton. He was 14 years old. And last night, a jury in Richland County, South Carolina, found the man who shot him in the back not guilty of murder. And I want to talk about it. On May 28, 2023, Cyrus walked into a Shell gas station on Park Lane Road in Columbia. He picked up 4 bottles of water, then he put them back. He didn't steal anything, the surveillance showed it. The man who owned the store accused him of stealing anyway, and Cyrus ran. The owner and his adult son chased that boy out of the store, more than 130 yards down the street. Then the owner shot him in the back. Cyrus was just 14 years old. He bled out on the pavement outside the gas station. The trial took 5 days and the jury deliberated for 8 hours. They asked the judge to clarify the legal instruction multiple times during the deliberation. One of the prosecutors told them during the closing arguments, "This is what malice looks like. A shot to the back tells the story better than any witness ever could." Then the jury came back not guilty. I don't have anything clever to say about that. A child is dead. He was just 14 years old. He didn't steal anything. He shot him in the back during a 130-yard chase. And a jury looked at all the evidence and decided that nothing about that warranted a murder conviction. Cyrus's father, Troy Belton, sat in the courtroom and listened to the verdict be read. The family's attorney, Todd Rutherford, spoke outside the courtroom with Troy standing next to him. Troy didn't address the cameras. Rutherford said the anger is palpable tonight. You can feel it. You can touch it. He asked the people watching to let anger live in words, in conversations, in what we say and what we write, not in anything else. See, I don't want to use Cyrus as a symbol. He's not a teaching moment. He was a child, okay? He had a father in that courtroom yesterday. He had a cousin who said she stayed silent for 3 years carrying his death. He had people who loved him. He has people who love him. A 14-year-old black boy was shot in the back over water that he did not take. There was video of him not taking it. The jury saw the video and they still acquitted that man anyway. If you're black and you're watching this, I know. Me too. There's nothing we can say to make this land any softer. The sad truth is that we've seen this before, and we'll probably see it again. If you're not black and watching this, what happened to Cyrus is what we're talking about when we say what we say about this country and what it does to black children. This is the receipt, not a hypothetical, not a historical example. A 14-year-old boy, gone forever. Cyrus's family is going to continue pursuing a civil case, as they should. The criminal trial is over. So I just want to close with saying rest in peace, Cyrus Carmack Belton. You were just 14 years old. Your name is the only thing I have for you tonight. So I'm going to keep saying it, and I hope the people watching this will too.
I love when the black community says, let's boycott Asian businesses. Please do. We'll get rid of the Chinese takeout, the dry cleaners, the laundromat.
It is so damn ironic of you to bring up Chinese restaurants and dry cleaners and laundromats, because we didn't choose those jobs. We were actually forced into them due to the anti-Asian laws created by white Americans and white European immigrants. And the only reason why those businesses survived was largely because of the support of black people. But a lot of you bootlickers don't know your history. And for that, I'm going to have to take you to school. Domain expansion. Infinite TED Talk. What's up, everyone? My name is Rainier, and this is the true history of boycotting Asian businesses. You see, before Chinese restaurants and gas stations and beauty supply stores, the first Chinese migrants were actually in America in the 1800s during the California Gold Rush, and then to build the Transcontinental Railroad across the West Coast. But when the gold ran out and the final train tracks were laid, the American economy fell into a depression, and poor white Americans and European immigrants started to feel threatened by Chinese labor. And so what do? They joined anti-coolie clubs, and they advocated for anti-coolie laws that would limit the opportunities of Chinese laborers and tax anybody who hired Chinese workers. The racism was so bad that Chinese people were hunted down in their neighborhoods, beaten up by mobs of white men, or just straight up lynched in the streets. This violence is a big reason why Chinatowns were created in the first place. They are ghettos. They are safe spaces where Chinese people could set up shop and live together. But because of these anti-coolie laws, the only businesses that they could set up and get financing for were restaurants, grocery stores, and laundromats. Quick side note, so you should definitely watch the Warrior series because it's based on the writings of Bruce Lee, and it's set in the 1870s during all this anti-Asian racism. But even though black people were fighting their own freedoms at the time, they still took the initiative to speak up for Asians. And in 1869, the great Frederick Douglass gave the Composite Nation speech, where he said, "Let the Chinaman come. He will help to augment the national wealth. He will help to develop our boundless resources. He will help to pay off our national debt. He will help to lighten the burden of our national taxation. He will give us the benefit of his skill as a manufacturer and as a tiller of the soil in which he is unsurpassed." Then in 1871 in Los Angeles, a mob of 500 white men robbed Chinese businesses and killed 19 Chinese immigrants. Hatred was so commonplace that companies would release advertisements to sell their laundry products using anti-Chinese racism. And then decades later, when the Hoover Company needed to sell washing machines, they published this ad over here depicting Chinese laundromat workers being displaced by automation. Now, if you watched Sinners, you probably remember the two Asian characters over here who ran a grocery store. And a lot of people were kind of confused why they were included, but that's because many Asians who left the West Coast due to a lack of work and racism, they fled to the South to work on sugar and cotton plantations. Many of those same Asians set up grocery stores in those black neighborhoods, which means black people were speaking up for Asians in the West Coast and putting dollars into our businesses in the American South. Fast forward to the 1980s when Vincent Chin was bludgeoned to death with a baseball bat by two white men who thought that Vincent was Japanese. Ronald Ebens and Michael Nitz recently lost their job at the Chrysler factory, and they blamed the Japanese car market for destroying the American automotive industry, and so they killed Vincent Chin. And when the Asian community needed to seek justice, who showed up for us? Jesse Jackson. I could honestly keep going, but I'm going to end on this note. If you know the Disney movie, The Jungle Book, then you know the author of the original book, Rudyard Kipling. But what you might not know is that Rudyard also infamously created the poem, The White Man's Burden, which symbolizes the pain and the struggle of being a white man who is responsible for carrying African, Asian, Latino, and indigenous people out of the jungles of barbarism into the promised land of civilization. But for a lot of you bootlickers, you seem to think that just because you're in another basket that you're better than black folks, even though we've worked on the same plantations and we've been lynched by the same angry mobs. You're trying so hard to get invited to the picnic, even though history has proven that we'll never truly be accepted by them. And in fact, history shows us the opposite. History has shown us that even though black people have no reason to invite us to the cookout, for well over a century, they have still had the heart to save us a plate. So to all you ungrateful Asian bootlickers out there crying about black people boycotting Asian businesses, just know that this protest doesn't come from nowhere. It came from over 100 years of showing love to Asian people and not receiving that same love and support in return. And goddamn, I think it's time that we need to return the favor.
Boycott Asian businesses. Look, I know many people are angry. They think justice needs to be served. So they want to boycott Asian businesses. I know emotions are high, and if this is how you think there's going to be some justice, okay, I'm okay with it. But then when does it end? When is it, okay, we've boycotted Asian businesses enough, justice is served, now let's move on. I just personally don't think this is the solution. If anything, it produces more tension, creating some unnecessary race war. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Asian business owners that are like, what happened? Where's all my black customers? They're just trying to make a living. They're just trying to make money. Now, what's the answer? I don't know. If you have any productive recommendations, please comment below. But personally, I just don't think boycotting Asian businesses achieves anything.
If black folks boycotting Asian businesses is what it takes to fast-track Asian folks into deconstructing their internalized white supremacy and anti-blackness, so be it. Boycott. I didn't apologize to the black community in my video yesterday so that y'all would magically trust me or forgive Asian people suddenly. I apologized to hold my people accountable, because the Asian community owes an apology, and the black community deserves to receive an apology. Is it enough? No. But is it one grain of rice in the direction of repair? I believe so. Trust can only be rebuilt through action, so I will continue educating Asian folks in my life, both online and in real life, to deconstruct the internalized white supremacy and anti-blackness, because black folks are some of the most soulful, caring people I know, and y'all deserve better.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Freedom Room. In today's video, we'll be looking at the growing online discussion surrounding the report boycott of some Asian-owned businesses by members of the black community. Across social media, many people are sharing different opinions, experiences, and reactions about where they choose to spend their money and what they believe this means for local businesses and communities. This is a topic that has sparked a lot of debate, so stay with us, watch the clips, and afterward we'll come back to break everything down together. Stay tuned.
The worst thing that Asian fella did was to make a threat against the black communities. A $1.6 trillion industry, especially in black communities alone, where most of the Asian stores, nail shops, beauty supply stores are highly dependent upon the black dollar. So if you take away those, those stores will run out of business within 3 weeks. That's where it starts. And then it's going to go up to where the supply chain is, where they're getting the goods from. That's going to be highly affected. But in order for this to be a good effect on the black Americans, we must build our own manufacturing shops right here in America. Right here. Bye.
Of course black Americans are boycotting Asian businesses. What the fuck did y'all expect? Y'all expect us to be A-okay with what the fuck be happening so it can happen the fuck again. Yeah, we know. And I'm so sorry, but compared to the white folk, Asians, y'all are the ones that hate us the fucking most. Y'all are damn near hand in hand when it comes to white people. And it makes absolutely no sense because white motherfuckers hated y'all just as much as they hated us. During the civil rights movement, y'all would not motherfucking be here if it were not for the black activists making sure that y'all were allowed to be here, making sure that y'all had your fucking voice heard too. But when it comes to injustices like what happened to Cyrus, y'all are fucking quiet. But not quiet when we stop coming to your fucking businesses, right? And it makes my ass itch so bad because anytime that something happens to any other fucking community that's not the black community, we are the first ones fucking there to defend y'all. The first ones to make sure that y'all voices are fucking heard. But when it happens to us, everybody's fucking silent. And it's a problem, issue, concern that we are addressing our problems, issues, and concerns. It's fucking tiring and it's fucking annoying. It is very tiring to have globally so many people fucking hate you just for your skin color. It is so tiring being the ones to be there to help every single fucking time, no matter what, because that's what the fuck was instilled in us, and it never get reciprocated. We'll be the first to scream, stop Asian hate, but y'all will not be the first to stand on the front lines with us and scream anything that has to do with black lives. And that is why we're boycotting y'all shit, because it's the only thing we can fucking do. Because that's the only time that y'all will fucking listen is when it has to do with motherfucking money.
Alright, real quick, to the Asian businesses that are getting upset because y'all decided to challenge black people to boycott y'all, did you really think that was gonna work out? No. I really think about it. We boycotted one of our very own. Y'all remember Daniel Caesar, right? No? Exactly. That man said, I do not want black people listening to my music. Black people was like, bet. One thing you do not want to challenge a black person to do is be petty, because we are some of the pettiest people, if not the pettiest people on the face of the earth. And what's even crazy, y'all set up Chinatown and all that other stuff near black neighborhoods because nobody else wanted to have y'all around. You know who accepted y'all with open arms? Black folks. You know the main ones going to your liquor stores, corner stores, restaurants, laundromats, hair stores, etc. Black people. But you don't want our business there? It's all good. We'll take our black business somewhere else. It's all good. I got to unify and make Chinatown here and there. But now that black people have a little bit more power, a little bit more rights, how about we start Black Wall Street back up? Let's start Black Wall Street back up.
There is a lot of rising tension between the Asian and Black American community, with Black Americans saying, let's boycott some Asian businesses, and Asian Americans saying, stop attacking our people. And this is all being caused due to the acquittal of Rick Chow in the murder of Cyrus Carmack Belton. And it's upsetting seeing this divide occur because we should all be, with each other in solidarity as minorities, right? I think we can all agree that Rick Chow should be in prison. He shot and murdered a 14-year-old boy. However, why are we combating that with racism against one another? In my opinion, the only person that wins as the result of us attacking each other, us unfairly discriminating against Black Americans unfairly discriminating against Asian Americans, are the bigots that support Rick Chow being found not guilty. One man's actions should not justify demonizing an entire community. Calling in fake orders to Asian restaurants and boycotting small Asian businesses is not the answer. Do I discriminate against everybody from Vermont because Chester Arthur is the one that signed the Chinese Exclusion Act? No, I think that's unreasonable. I like Bernie. I hope some justice is served for Cyrus Carmack Belton and his family finds peace.
It is not racist to boycott Asian businesses when so many Asians are more outraged and vocal about boycotts than an unjust verdict about Cyrus Carmack Belton due to racial profiling. And that says a lot about where people's priorities are at. When the verdict was announced, many people, including myself, were grieving and expressing how disappointed we were. Only a few Asians spoke up, 10 max. Instead of holding space for that grief, many Black people were met with anti-Black comments such as dehumanizing Cyrus by calling him a thug or a monkey, bringing up Stop Asian hate crimes to justify the verdict despite having no connection whatsoever, and perpetuating racist stereotypes of Black people. So if you combine the fact that many people feel justice was not served, Rick Chow is a free man, not enough Asians were speaking up about this verdict, and Black people were receiving an immense amount of anti-Black comments. While simply grieving this tragedy, what did you expect the reaction to be? I am pissed off that so many of you lack empathy and humanity, to the point your response is anti-Black rhetoric. and ignorance instead of accountability. And our community doesn't consistently call out anti-blackness, when we don't make our spaces safe for black people, and when we continue to dogpile black people while expecting their support whenever it's convenient for us. Why are you shocked that black people are frustrated with our community? A lot of you are more concerned about black dollars than black lives. More concerned about businesses than black children who are harmed, lose their lives, and are failed by the very systems that are supposed to protect them. Boycotting Asian businesses is a consequence of anti-blackness. And it is up to us as a community to confront it, instead of pretending it doesn't exist. This is exactly why the Asian community needs to have more conversations about unpacking anti-blackness and understanding why racial profiling another person of color, especially from the black community, is dangerous. Because when someone walks into your establishment, your first thought should not be racist stereotypes attached to the color of their skin. Your first thought should be that they are a customer and a human being. And if we can't even do that much, then we shouldn't be surprised when people keep calling out anti-blackness within our community. So I don't give a rat's ass what any of you have called me these past few months. Self-hating, anti-Asian, pandering to the black community. I really don't give a fuck. My priorities will always be with humanity, accountability, and justice. If you truly care about solidarity between our communities, you will spend less time complaining about boycott and more time confronting the anti-blackness to help create this situation in the first place.
So I came on here because I know I said I was boycotting Asian businesses and I said I wasn't going to get my nails done. But here I am with a fresh set of nails. Yes, because I can do what I want. And they're press-ons, okay? Like I said, I'm going to continue to support black businesses. If you have a black press-on nail company, please drop the link below. These right here, I did buy off the TikTok shop. And it took me maybe 20 minutes to prep them, but I will not be going to Asian businesses, okay? I'm still supporting black businesses, and this is a movement that's gonna continue. Basically, it's a fund transfer. We're transferring funds into the black community. That is it. It's not racist. It's a transfer of funds.
I don't understand how the most educated group of people, Asians, can't figure out why black Americans are trying to boycott their businesses. It's so crazy to me that Asians think black Americans are doing this to get back at us, or that this is a generalization of all Asians, that we are all racist like Rick Chow. The boycott is pent-up frustration from years of black Americans dealing with Asian-owned businesses and constantly getting racially profiled, followed, and the overall lack of respect that they have to deal with, even though they are these businesses' said main customers. Mind you, Asians that own said businesses in predominantly black neighborhoods extract that money and go take it back to their own communities. So black Americans are collectively trying to say, if you're going to come in here and take our money and leave, the very least you can do is treat us like a normal human being and not assume that every black person that walks in the door in a black neighborhood is a criminal. Seems pretty reasonable to me.
Welcome back. After watching these clips, it is clear that people have different perspectives on the issue. Some believe supporting black-owned businesses is a positive way to strengthen their community, while others worry that broad boycotts could increase division between different groups. The conversation also raises questions about consumers' choice, economic support, and relationship between communities. What do you think? Is choosing to support businesses within your own community the best approach, or is there a better way to address this concern? Share your thoughts respectfully in the comment section below. We would love to hear your opinion. Now let's continue with a few more clips and then we'll return for some final commentary.
The Asian community is literally so anti-black, and it literally fucking pisses me off. Like, we are literally so uneducated, uninformed, just misinformed, everything about the black community, and it pisses me off. And like, it just boggles my mind how a lot of Asians see black people as beneath them. I shit you not, I literally saw someone on my story and I literally was so gagged. Like, I was like, are you serious right now? And I sent him a message, ask him if he's being serious about this. This guy is Bhutanese. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, but like, I guess he got like some kind of spray tan or whatever because he's doing some kind of stupid movie shoot or whatever. Roy posts on his story and says, because his skin is like 10 shades darker or something. He said, "Can I say the N-word now?" with a ninja emoji next to it. I slid up so fucking quick and I asked this man, "Are you fucking serious right now?" And guess what? That man left me on red. Need I say again that he is not black? He is Bhutanese from Bhutan or whatever the fuck you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Quite honestly, like, the Asian community is literally so underhandedly racist to the black community, and it just, like, not to mention the black community is one of the most supportive of marginalized groups that has ever, like, uplifted the Asian community and actually put effort into supporting us. I'm probably gonna piss a lot of Asians off for saying that, but it's literally the truth, and I fucking see it for what it is.
I personally don't think that my Asian American community is as smart as people want them to think, because there's a very narrow way of us thinking. Like, we don't really think outside of the box. Like, a lot of my people don't, you know, and it takes a lot for us to be able to channel that type of intelligence, and it seems like not many of us can actually reach it. And this is not meant to be offensive to anyone. Just take this as constructive criticism to change and be better. Our people, we can all agree that we lack accountability. Our people have heavy issues with accountability, ego problems, trust issues, etc., right? And some of us be thinking like we're white. So I had to take a video down because I was like, I don't want the wrong message to be out there, because my people, we got problems with critical thinking. And the reason why I say this is because there is like a lot of people in the comments also speaking about how there's like fake orders going out to Asian business restaurants and such like that. I would like to make myself very clear, and this is the reason why I took it down. My people are so anti-Black that they will use that narrative and make it the reason why they will never address the anti-Black issues and racist issues in our community. And I've seen it in the comments, like they're saying like, yeah, but the racist comments and like the fake phone orders, like it's just unnecessary. But I understand what you're saying though. And it's just kind of like, okay, so what? The lack of accountability and entitlement is so alarming that if my people can just apply a little bit of common sense and humanity into their thinking, right, they would be able to understand that the Black community and their livelihood should always outweigh a business expense. And unfortunately, that is the part of accountability, right? Our people did something wrong. We're not the victims here. Hello. So let me make myself very clear, because I'm not going to say shit about that. And it's not because I don't like my own people. I love my people, but my people have issues. And there's nothing in my mind that's ever going to have it where fake Chinese food orders are going to outweigh the racism that is in our community. And I do hope that everybody understands this, right? Not just Asian people, but every person of color, because there's a anti-Blackness issues in every one of our communities. This is not just going to affect the Asian community. Do you guys get that? So like I said in my last video, everybody should be in support with this decision that the Black community is talking about. And if we really want to be unified in building solidarity together, sometimes we just literally got to sit down and listen.
I have seen more Asian Americans being upset at the fact that Black Americans are threatening to boycott Asian businesses than I have seen Asian Americans speaking out against the murder of Cyrus Carmack Belton.
I agree. A lot of people like myself talked about the boycott instead of what actually happened. I would like to apologize for that because that came from a place of hurt. Instead of just believing TikTok news, I did do my own research and watch the whole court proceedings. I did, in fact, take notes. So here are the facts that people don't talk about because they want you to believe one side of the story. Cyrus Carmack Belton was carrying a loaded semi-automatic pistol illegally. He was also posting about owning this pistol. Andy, Rick Chow's son, claimed to see the pistol when Cyrus was in the store with his bag. He also stated that Cyrus looked really suspicious, shoving water bottles in his bag before taking them out. Along with that, a lot of the witness statements can't be proven to be true because they changed their statement from when they were talking to the police from when they were under oath in court. One witness claimed that she didn't see anything that happened until she was under oath, and she gave specific details that she did not see because she claimed to not have seen them when questioned by the police. In his closing statement, Sean Kent, Rick Chow's lawyer, claimed that Andy chased Cyrus down 130 yards. Cyrus fell to the ground and his gun fell out of his pocket. Rick Chow saw Cyrus scrambling to get up, and he believed that Cyrus was gonna pick up the gun and point it at Andy. Since there was no cameras around, Andy was the only eyewitness there. So yes, there is the argument for self-defense because Rick Chow did believe that Cyrus was going to pick up the gun and shoot his son. These are all the reasons to why Rick Chow was found innocent in this murder, because he didn't conspire to murder Cyrus. He didn't pre-plan this. This was not a predisposition plan. He didn't plan to have Cyrus walk into the store and was like, I'm gonna shoot him. Honestly, everything is still up to interpretation. Murder in South Carolina means that you have the intent to kill, and he did not have the intent to kill. Sean Kent was able to prove that. Also, Sean Kent was a really good lawyer, all things considered. The way he spoke was extremely well, and I did listen to his closing argument, which I feel like it really is persuasive. You can make your own decision if you think Rick Chow was innocent or not. In my opinion, I don't think I can make that decision on whether he was innocent or not. I don't think that anyone that killed anyone would ever be innocent. And my heart does go out to Cyrus and his family, because no one should ever have to go through that. It doesn't matter if they were holding an illegal firearm or etc. I'm really sorry for what happened, and I hope his family finds peace and justice.
This is America in 2026. Nobody should be surprised at this point. My only thing for black folks is that we finally have to wake up. Us going outside protesting ain't gonna do shit. Us hopping online crying ain't gonna do shit. But you know what will? Withholding the black dollar. Stop spending money with these people who clearly show us time and time again that they do not like us. And I get it. It's hard because as black people, we really don't own too many things in America. But we can change that. We got internet now. We can go online. We can shop around, bro. Something gotta give. Because in 2026, you can murder a black boy and walk free. We just seen it happen. This happened, 14 years ago? I remember Trayvon Martin when I was 10 years old, dog. When I was 10, he walked away. They killed him. And the same thing we see it happen again, bro. What gonna change? We gonna be mad for the next 2, 3, 4 weeks and then shit gonna go back to normal. People gonna be still buying Chinese food, going to the gas stations, messing with all these non-black people.
To the black community, I'm sorry. As a Vietnamese American, I am disgusted by those in the Asian community who are more upset about a boycott than the life of innocent Cyrus Carmack Belton. I was recently sitting on the George Floyd bench in Martin Luther King Park in Berkeley, the heart of the Vietnam War protests in the 60s, and was reminded of Dr. King's solidarity with the Vietnamese liberation, which ties to my solidarity with black liberation. Growing up in the Midwest, I was taught to trust whites and fear blacks, only to find the opposite is true in my adult life. I've experienced so much kindness and collective care in my interactions with black folks, both in the US and abroad. Whereas the lack of consciousness or care around the violent systems created by and for white folks when trying to speak to white folks about it is astounding and makes me feel incredibly unsafe with most of them. Asian folks watching this, with internalized white supremacy who prefer proximity to white power over collective liberation, know that you are just a pawn being used by white supremacy in this model minority myth to divide and conquer. And if you had a negative one-on-one encounter with a black person, remember that white violence at a systemic level kills millions upon millions and allows for one-on-one interactions with white folks to seem surface level nice because they're not forced into daily survival mode due to the privilege they've carved out with their massive systemic violence. So do not trust white nice, because it turns unsafe real quick as soon as you dig beneath the surface to see that most white folks do not care that Western white supremacy culture is killing black and brown folks daily. So while systemic trauma might have caused a negative one-on-one interaction with a black person for you, remember that black people are not killing millions of people on a systemic level. Remember how black people played a central and pioneering role in the Vietnam War protests and stood in solidarity with oppressed Asian people. Do not abandon our allies. We owe the black community so much because our rights as non-white people in the US were hard fought for by black folks. So thank you to the black community for all that you do. Rest in power, Cyrus Carmack Belton.
Is I'm so sorry. Like right now, obviously, like it's a big talk about this murder this Asian man did. He killed a 14-year-old boy, which is horrible. But in response to that, a lot of people are boycotting Asian businesses. And I kind of think that's a little crazy because it's one man's action affecting the whole Asian community. That's low-key a generalization. Also, a lot of these people are boycotting like nail businesses and some. Those people are Vietnamese, not even Chinese, okay? A lot of those people are lower income. They're not the model minority. They're from a third world country. And I'm saying that because I know someone who is literally kind of being affected by this because their family owns a nail tech business. And I just think it's a little crazy that it's so, I guess, fine to say this normalization and be like, boycott all Asian people because of this one Asian person. Like,
Now, first, this is not just about the Rick Chow case. That was pretty much just the straw that broke the camel's back. For decades, Black people have been dealing with disrespect from Asian-owned businesses in our communities, while they continue to profit from the Black dollar. Now, Black people deciding they want to support Black-owned businesses, that's not racism, that's just group economics. And other groups have been doing that for centuries. So why is it suddenly considered racist when Black people want to spend more money in Black-owned businesses? At the end of the day, spending money is a choice, and supporting Black-owned businesses is not an attack on anyone else. And I keep hearing, like, how would Black people feel if Asian people boycotted Black businesses? Now, the Asian community has never really supported Black businesses, so you can't really boycott something you've never supported in the first place. Now, if the Black dollar mattered so much to the Asian community, then they should have respected Black people when they had the chance. And this is exactly what we mean when we say, fuck around and find out. Y'all just found out. Now, you've spent decades benefiting off of a community while showing such little respect for its people. Don't be shocked now when we decide to take our money somewhere else.
Now that you have seen the full discussion, you can better understand why the topic has generated so much attention online. Whether you agree or disagree with the opinion shared, it is clear that many people are having important conversations about economic, community support, and mutual respect. As always, we encourage respectful dialogue and welcome different viewpoints. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to subscribe to the Freedom Room, like this video, leave your thoughts in the comment, and share with others. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.